a good opportunity to sort of make sure that this particular conference that we do go to is like the sister conference of the fall conference.
Yeah.
It's a good way of making sure that the conference remains healthy and, going in the right direction. Get my input in there. Make sure no one screws it up. Go ahead.
Going back to the political science department, I've kind of been hearing, like, I know all the...
Hold on a second. Orsa is barking like a crazy lady. Come on, girl. Orsa, leave it. You leave those people alone. All right.
Don't kill anyone.
What was that last question, Joe? Sorry.
I've been hearing that the political science department has been a little bit understaffed recently. Is there any truth to that?
No, I don't think there is truth to that. Understaffed. I mean, what's the context of the question, I guess, is what I would have to ask. We can only... I think maybe the perception is that it's understaffed because last semester there were fewer classes run than normal.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the situation is that you can only run classes if you have enough students to fill those classes. So if you have a class and, each level of class, so 100, 200, 300, has a number of students that you need in order for that class to run. So, if you don't get that number of students, then...
No class.
Then no class. So it's really, it's actually quite the opposite. The department has more than enough faculty. It's getting the students into the classroom.
I see.
And then that goes back to the previous thing that we were talking about engendering a little bit more interest in the field in terms of people becoming minors, people becoming majors, in an effort to circumvent that. So I think it's sort of like the right question, but phrased perhaps in a different way. No,
it's just things that I've been hearing.
And the frustrating thing is I know that from the student's perspective that when you register for a class, you obviously have interest in that class. And I think there's obviously interest in the types of classes that we're running. It's really unfortunate, though, when, for instance, you have 6 students who really want to have this class and have that class run, but then you don't press the 8 or the 10 student mark that you need in order for the class to run.
Yeah. It sucks.
So yeah, I mean, we have the personnel, and everybody loves to teach, and we would all teach more if we would all definitely teach more if we could teach more, And that's why we do this. It's why I do this. So that's why it's kind of incumbent upon us to try to do the thing that I said, which is get more people.
I see. You're a very motivated man.
Well, let's try.
How long have you been working in the political science department at Pace?
This might be my 4th year.
4th year?
Yeah, I think going into my 5th year.
What are your credentials?
Well, I obviously have a bachelor's degree, unlike Scott Walker.
Unlike Scott Walker.
Yes, I have my master's degree in international relations from Seton Hall University. And I am in the process of doing my PhD, my doctoral degree at the New School for Social Research.
Yeah.
And
very interesting. So someone of your status.
So, hopefully, if all things go as planned, in 4 years or so, you could call me Dr. Lonergan.
I like that very much.
It's going well. It's going well.
So
those are my credentials. I'm a secret agent, man.
So someone with your secret agent status should have no problem getting their tenure, right?
Well, you need your doctorate.
You need your doctorate?
Yes. So, unless you have your PhD, you can't apply for a tenure track position.
I see.
Tenure track positions don't really come up very often these days. Seems like the higher education field is moving away from that trend. But, I don't do this. I don't think anybody who's a professor worth their salt. Come on, Orso, let's come back in the house. Doesn't do it for the tenure track. They do it because they love teaching. And, if you're going to get into the field at this point, you need to know that the tenure track thing is becoming less and less a reality.
Yeah, I see.
But that's not a big deal. I think people put too much credence in tenure. Orso, come on. I said we're going in the house.
I see.
Should be in a pain in the butt.
That's fine.
So that's that's not even on the horizon for me right now. Right now, what the horizon is for me is finishing up the doctorate. And, then worrying about that stuff later.
Well,
Come on, little one.
Yeah. I heard from John Rentz that was an issue for you. And that's why I immediately wanted to jump on doing this article. Because if someone's screwing you, then... No.
If that's the subtext of the article, then I'd prefer not.
No, definitely
not. How do you run the article? Off the record, we can have those conversations, but I'd prefer if stuff like that didn't appear.
Yeah, definitely.
In print. Continuing to say this off the record, it's an extremely political world at the university. Would life be more comfortable if things are slightly different for me? Yeah, sure. But because of you have to play the rules of the game. And even a guy like me who's totally anti-establishment doesn't really like the rules of the game. There's that. And then, again, to return back to that question of class size and whatnot, you can't, as much as I'd love for it to happen, if you don't have the classes to run, then how are you going to justify, hiring a dude to be full-time?
Yeah, definitely.
We have Wallador and DeCoulis and Whitehouse who are full-time.
He's full-time?
Myself, who's not full-time. And then a battery of other adjuncts. And again, bearing in mind that this statement is definitely off the record.
Yeah.
Because I do the Model UN, I think I pull a little bit more water than some of the adjuncts. So when it comes time to cancel classes because they don't have enough students, those adjuncts, so for instance, like Professor King last semester, or this spring, spring 2015.
Yeah.
Her class didn't run because there wasn't enough enrollment in it. So yes, last year, the chair of the dean's petitioned to get me a full-time, or rather to move up from adjunct professor to lecturer, which is a step above adjunct, and that didn't happen. And that was frustrating, but again, maybe this statement is more on the back to being official on the record, which is that, right now what's important for me personally is continue to do what I do, continue to, be the Model UN faculty advisor, continue to bring the university,
prestige.
Publicity and prestige in that position, and continue to move forward in my own doctoral studies, so that those types of difficult questions aren't reality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And look, it's so vindicating to. It's extremely vindicating to have students like John and yourself who obviously care about, I guess care about me and my future. And are concerned about that. And that's really, really vindicating. And it's, without making it sound cheap, it's heartwarming. Because again, like one of the reasons I do this is because I love to teach and I love students. But at the same time, I think that often makes it. I don't know. I think that sometimes clouds the vision of students and closeness. And you sort of only see it from one perspective of like, hey, why isn't this guy getting paid $1 million a year?
Yeah,
we love it so much. But there's a lot more that goes on, unfortunately. So, I don't know. You can parse that last thing and decide what's
don't worry, I got you.
And what's not. But I would just, going back to what I said, I would just ask that you're extremely careful in
of course. I don't.
What it is that you're.
I definitely don't want to get you in trouble at all.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
don't worry, Luntrigan. I got you.
Thanks, Joe. In terms of what I think, if I was going to say, if you're going to publish this article, you could write about the Model UN, and you could write about the political science department. It's good. It's healthy. It's growing. Next year, we're going to have the addition of the global governance major, which is going to be a really cool interdisciplinary major. Something that Professor Wallagor is going to head up. So yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry. Do you guys have any other big plans besides that?
Yeah, we're going to take over the world. The coolest is going to run for president.
You should run for president.
I'll be Secretary of State. White House will be Secretary of the Interior. No other big plans.
No other big plans?
I think the biggest plans that we have are definitely just to keep trying to be a really student-centered department. Keep trying to engender interest in our students, and keep trying to support our students and help them figure out what exactly comes next. Because as you know, it can be really hard to figure out what comes next. Whether that's going to grad school or whether that's going to law school or whether that's hitting the job market. So, those are all things that I think the four of us all sort of have, occupy our minds.
Yeah.
So that's the plan, is to, keep churning out great graduates of, and get out there in the world and do shit.
Yes. Important shit. Change the world.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much for talking to me, man.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. I like talking to you, Joe. You're a good guy, and I appreciate you continuing to reach out to me. I just hope that sometime in the near future, you could be sitting in my classroom again, so we could have compelling conversations, and you could say silly and ridiculous things.
Well, both of those.
But going back to what I said at the beginning of the conversation, I know that you're going to be, just say, managing editor?
Not managing editor, feature editor.
Feature editor. I know you're going to be feature editor, but I would definitely strongly suggest that you consider doing the Model UN as a club. It's a lot less work. You don't have to write the paper. You come to class when you want to come to class. But it'd be a good experience for a guy like you. So.
Okay.
All right.
Again, thank you. Thank you very much.
All the really important things I have to do today, like put my laundry in the dryer.
And don't worry, I got you. I won't get you in trouble.
Yeah. Thank you, Joe. I'll talk to you later, okay?
Okay. Bye.
Be well. Bye-bye.
You too.